now we have seen and discussed what is cloud computing, what are the three types of cloud computing, and the major players in the cloud computing like AWS, GCP, and Azure. Now we will deep dive into the AWS part, like Amazon Web Service, what it is, what are the building blocks in AWS, what services it offers. Okay, so there are three types: AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. 33% market share is held by AWS because of its services and availability. So the best service or the most used service in AWS is Amazon SageMaker. So if you are a machine learning or a data scientist, so you will utilize Amazon SageMaker mostly for your work. So it is an end-to-end machine learning platform. So if you want to build your model, then after building, training, deploying, building images, registering your model, all the CI/CD pipeline and all the model deployment you can do using SageMaker. So this is one service offered by Amazon. So this particular services are depending on the zones and region. So AWS has global infrastructure. So AWS group their physical data centers into a logical units called availability zones. So data center is nothing but a location or a office where they have multiple racks, and that racks has hard drive. That is called data center, which is filled with n number of hardware systems, and that particular hardware system is called data center, which is combined into a logical unit called zones. So let's consider in particular area there are three data centers. So Amazon is combining all those three data centers into a zone. So these data centers are interconnected over a fully redundant dedicated low latency connection. Here low latency is very important part. So low latency is nothing but a time between request and response. If the latency time is very low, that means you get very fast response. So in AWS region usually has two or more this availability zone, which are physically separated and isolated from each other, so that if availability zone goes down, the others are not affected. Let's consider as if I have availability zone in Mumbai, then availability zone B will be in some different location, somewhere around Pune. So this particular zones A and B will help user to deploy those applications. So let's say if I'm deploying my application on availability zone A, and because of some natural disaster or some technical glitch that availability zone A goes down, then my application will work from availability zone B. So this is the global infrastructure of the AWS services. So whatever services that you want, you can host that services on multiple regions and zones. So at present 84 availability zone spans to 84 availability zone within 26 geographical region around the world, with announced plans for 24 more availability zones and 8 more AWS region in Austria, Canada, India, Israel, New Zealand, and other countries. So in this map you can see this blue particular part are nothing but the regions which contain multiple data centers, and the orange part will be the coming soon. So let's say if a user base in India, and if I deploy my application in this particular region, then see the distance between these two particular region, it's huge. So the latency will be very high. So to reduce that latency, you can deploy your application close to the user base, or you can deploy your application in multiple zones. So if one goes down, other will back up that particular zones. So in AWS building block, we will see what are the major components. So Amazon service provide fundamental components like storage, networking, computing, as well as managed database, big data, and messaging. So it is similar to like buying a virtual computer, which has computing power, storage device, everything. So in this building block, EC2 is the main part, like it's a main building block in AWS. EC2 is nothing but a compute service. So it's called Amazon Elastic Cloud Compute. So if you just see this Elastic Cloud Compute, E stands for Elastic, and Cloud Compute stands C2 stands for Cloud Compute. So that's how they name their services. So it's an instance for instance for storage, like computing power. So it runs on Linux and Unix based hardware and are available through the Amazon Web Service Cloud. So if you want to deploy your application on virtual computer, then first you need to use this EC2 instance. And there are multiple EC2 instances available on AWS depending on the storage and drive memory. Then next come to the storage part, S3. So S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. It is easy to use object storage. You can use it as the repository for your database. All amount of data like the website, backup, mobile application, archive, IoT, etc. It provides excellent management features so you can organize, optimize and configure your data according to the need. So you can consider EC2 and S3 as a virtual computers building block. So let's say if you build any virtual computer, you need storage. For that you buy hard drive. So similarly here you need to use S3 bucket. If you need powerful computing power, then you can go for EC2 instance at higher level. Then comes the RDS with Oracle database. So RDS is a Amazon relational database service, like similar to SQL. So it is very easy to set up, operate and scale relational database in the cloud. S3 and RDS, not the same thing. S3 is also storage, RDS is also storage thing, but there is a difference. On S3 you can upload images, Excel file, anything, but on RDS you won't able to upload that, because RDS is a relational database management system where we have rows and columns. So if you have table and if you want to store user login details, password and all, then you can use Amazon RDS. Then we have Amazon Virtual Private Cloud also. So it lets you provision a logical isolated section of the AWS cloud where you can launch AWS resources in virtual network that you define. You have a complete control over the virtual networking environment, including the ability to select your own IP address, range, creation of subnet, and configure your route tables and network gate. So basically here you can create your own small mini cloud system where you can deploy, test, manage and experiment your application. So these are the top 10 services from the AWS. Now these services is also depending on the use case. So first is EC2 instance. It is a compute capacity. So if you want computation power, then you can go for EC2 instance. You will get 6 core, 96 core, n number of cores computing power. Then RDS for relational database system. If you want to create a serverless architecture, then you can use AWS Lambda. If you want to store files and images and other kind of blob storage, you can go for S3 simple storage service. Then Elastic Container Service, then EKS Elastic Kubernetes Service. If you want to run multiple Docker container, and if you want to manage those container, you can go for AWS EKS. Then simple queue service. So it is similar to like Solace. So if you want to broadcast any particular data to multiple listener, then you can use AWS queue service. Then DynamoDB. So Dynamo is a vector database DB. So RDS is a structured data, Dynamo is a vector data. So if you want to store embeddings of your large language model or vector data set, then you can go for Amazon DynamoDB. Then there is a workspace and CloudFront content delivery network. So these are the top 10 services, but again it depends on what type of applications you are using, what type of services you want and what you want to deploy. Based on that, you can select a particular service for your web application. So this is all about AWS and what are their main building blocks, what are the different services. Now in next part we will see other cloud services and their building blocks.